Hello, my most amazing 3G artists. Yes, today is the day we get to really put our shading and highlighting skills to the test. We are going to draw one figure from what we would call a still life. And we are going to make sure we concentrate on highlights and shadows. I'm acting a little bit like Vermeer today because I have placed my object right by a window. So I have a window over to the left, just like Vermeer usually did. And it's shining onto this lantern. This is an oil lamp, kind of an old style antique. Before electricity, people used to burn oil in their lamps to give them light on these dark winter days. So I picked this object because it has so many awesome highlights and lowlights. So I took a photo of it close up so that you couldn't see all the junk in my office, and I will post that photo for you to look at while we draw. All right, grab a white piece of paper, a pencil, an eraser, and you actually might want a Q-tip today. So if you have a couple Q-tips, go grab those. Those are optional though. All right, let's get started. So you need to make a decision about how you want to look at what we're drawing. I have put a photo of the lamp as one of the things that you can find on Seesaw. If you just look under the announcements, then there'll be a photo there. So you could click on that and have that on your computer screen or on your iPad, and you can look at that. Or you can just watch what I draw and do what I do on this video. Or probably the best of both worlds would be if you could have my video on one screen and the photo of the lamp on another screen. Then that might be your best option, but I know not everyone has two screens, so that's okay. All right, here's my pencil. I got an eraser, I got some Q-tips, and a piece of paper. Here we go. Now you might think of this project and go, oh my goodness, it's so overwhelming. I can't imagine drawing this fancy lamp. What if I mess it up? It's okay. I want you to just take a deep breath and remember that yours doesn't have to look just like mine. And it's okay if some of the proportions are off or it looks kind of funny. This is kind of like practice. You know, it doesn't have to be something that you frame and put on the wall. But if you do a really good job, you might be super impressed with yourself, and framing it and putting it on the wall might just be an awesome idea. So let's give it a try. All right, I'm gonna just kind of start by sketching in the basic shapes. And I want you to remember from when we did the animals that you can look at a picture or a photograph and just really look for like the simple lines and shapes that you can sketch in real quick. And think about proportion, which means how big is it and where does it go on the paper. So at the very top in the middle, I'm going to put a curved line that is going to be the top of the glass. Now I probably have to draw a little darker than what you would draw because I need you to be able to see what I'm doing, but you might just want to sketch really lightly so that if you need to erase, you can do that easily. All right, now I'm just going to come straight down and I'm trying to think like what is it in the photograph that is at the middle of the page. And when I think about that, I see that the bump in the glass, you know, like it comes straight down like this, but then there's that curve that kind of bulges out. That bulge is a little bit above the halfway point. So I'm just thinking like where my halfway point is, and I want the bottom of the bulge to be right about at the halfway point. So again, I'm just using sketchy lines. If you draw a really dark, thick line and it looks kind of funny, then you might have to erase it and fix it. But if you do these short, light, sketchy lines, then you can fix it without having to do a whole lot of erasing. So we are going to add some shading and kind of blend things in just a little bit. Okay, so then after the bulge comes out, then it goes back to being straight for just a little bit. Okay, now I'm not gonna put the fancy little brass things in yet. I'm just gonna kind of get the outline here. There's another little bump here where the brass is, the metal. Then it goes down again. Just another couple short little vertical lines, and then a curve, like a smile curve right here. And then just so I don't forget, I'm gonna put a little curve here, and I'm just gonna put a few little holes. These are those little holes if you're looking at the picture. And I might fix those later, but that's gonna remind me where those go. All right, and then another couple short lines, a little bit diagonal there. And then we've got this round kind of shape, and it actually goes out, if you look at the picture, it goes out farther than this bulge. So I need to make sure I bring it out farther than I originally thought on both sides. So the symmetry here is important. Try to make sure whatever you draw on one side looks pretty similar to how you draw it on the other side. And then this curves around like this. And then we've got the bowl part here. I think I'm gonna run out of room. Boo. I'm just gonna have to kind of go off the page a little. And then this part, if I had a little more space, I would make it a circle all the way around, or like an oval, but I ran out of space, so I'm just gonna go off the page. You can certainly, if you drew yours shorter, you can finish that like a big smiley shaped curve to make an oval. And then I'm going to put the little handle over here. So it's kind of shaped like that. And it's got like a curve here that attaches here. And then it comes down. So mine's, again, it's gonna run out of space there. So I'm just gonna put it like that. So that is my basic shape of my lamp. Now I am going to start adding some detail and filling in with some shading. Before I forget, I wanna put like a horizon line. It's not really a horizon line because it's not a landscape, but it's like the edge of the table. And so if I'm drawing it the same as the photo, it goes right about there, straight across horizontally, and then it comes out the side. And in my picture, I had like a curve, so it goes off, but you could go straight across, either way is fine. Okay, now I'm gonna just sketch in these little fancy brass parts real quick. So these have these little points, and then these little U shapes. You just do the best to kind of draw them the way you see them, like so. All right. Then I'm going to fill in a few more dots here because I think I only put 2 rows and there's actually 3. Okay, so add a few more of those. And then I forgot the little twisty handle. So that comes out right here. It has a horizontal rod, like a stick. And then basically it's got this knob, but the only part we see of the knob is almost just like a vertical little disc. It doesn't even look like a circle from this side. It just kind of looks like a line. All right, now inside where the wick is, we need to draw that part next. So I can see that it comes up like a dome from here, kind of curve it around like this. And then there's this fuzzy wick at the top. So I'm just gonna kind of put some texture bumps, like zigzaggy bumps right there. Okay. All right, now to add some shading. I think we're gonna start with the glass. So the glass is where you're gonna see some awesome highlights. So first of all, let's get the rest of this oval up here. So it looks like it's an open cylinder. So that's just a smile curve right there. And right here on the left. Well, before you start shading, double check. Does it look good? Like, I feel like this curve here is not quite matching this curve. So it's okay to pause the video for a minute and just kind of fix anything that looks wonky. See if you can make it a little bit more so that it matches on both sides. Just double check and make sure you like it before you start shading it.